There's this moment in adulthood where you sit down to play a game and you realize you're not the same person who played games as a kid. Not in a sad way, just in a quiet, honest way. Your taste has shifted, your energy has changed, and suddenly the games you reach out for say something about your life you're living right now. And that's what I want to talk about today. How our gaming tastes change as we grow up, and why that's not something to fight, but something to understand. When I think back to the first games I ever played, it wasn't about genre or reviews or what was trending. It was just whatever landed in my hands. Pokemon, Tekken on the PS1, RuneScape on the PC. And to be honest, that game probably shouldn't be running still, but it is, and that's amazing. Back then, I didn't have taste. I had time. I had curiosity. I had the kind of energy where you could try 10 different games in a week and still want more. And to be honest with you, some of those games still mean something to me today. I could pick up Pokemon and instantly feel grounded. RuneScape still has this gravitational pull. Even if I'm not playing it, I'll happily watch someone on YouTube grinding away for hours. But Tekken, as much as I respect it, it just doesn't resonate with me the same way. And for me, that's interesting. Nostalgia isn't universal. Some games grow with you, and some stay behind. As I've gotten older, I've realized something. My taste in gaming didn't just change. My relationship with games changed. A lot of people say adults stop exploring new games, and I don't think that's true. I think adults want to explore, but exploration competes with everything else in our lives. Responsibilities, stress, burnout, work that drains you before you've even turned on the console. When I'm going through a tough time at work like I am right now, I naturally gravitate towards comfort. Not necessarily cozy games, but games that feel natural to me. Games where the controls live rent-free in my head. PES 2020, Pokemon, worlds I don't have to learn, but because my brain is already tired. But that doesn't mean exploration disappears. It just becomes more intentional. When life feels stable, when I'm rested, when I'm curious, that's when I reach out for something new. A big RPG, a weird indie game, something I've never touched before. And that's why I think this topic is so personal. Some adults are stressed and overwhelmed, such as myself, and so they seek comfort. Some adults are fulfilled and energized. I'm jealous, by the way. So they seek discovery. There's no universal rule, just different lives, different needs, different seasons. And honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this topic. Do you feel like you explore less as an adult, or has your curiosity stayed the same? When I was younger, I could play Call of Duty for hours without even thinking about it, match after match, late into the night, no sense of fatigue. But now, anything competitive feels heavy. Not necessarily because I'm worse at games, although I must admit I probably am, but because life itself is competitive. Work, expectations, pressure, deadlines, 2 YouTube channels. When you finally get a moment to relax, the last thing you want is more intensity, more adrenaline, more people shouting in your ears. But again, this isn't universal. Some adults love competitive games because they don't get that energy anywhere else. Their work is calm, their life is stable, so competition becomes a release, not a burden. And that's the point. Our taste reflects our life. As adults, we don't choose games by category anymore. We tend to choose them by emotional state. If you're burnt out, for example, you might look for a comfort loop. If you're nostalgic, you look for a childhood classic. If you're stable, maybe you look for a long RPG. If you're feeling chaotic, maybe you look for a short burst of intensity. If you're feeling curious, maybe you go for an exploration game. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're looking for something predictable. If you feel lonely, maybe you want something immersive. Or if you're feeling restless, maybe you want something fast. Mood becomes the real genre. And honestly, I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. It means games aren't just entertainment, they're emotional tools. It's fascinating how some childhood games feel alive. For me, Pokemon still hits. RuneScape will be eternal, but Tekken, not so much. Nostalgia isn't about the game. Nostalgia isn't about the game. It's about the version of you that played it. And I think some versions of ourselves stay with us, and then some don't. And here's the really interesting thing that I like to think about. Your taste isn't done changing. I've always said that I do not like Souls-like games. The amount of times I've tried to get into Dark Souls, and I really desperately want to enjoy it. But who knows, in 5 years time, 10 years time maybe, that could be the case, that it could be my favorite genre. Taste isn't fixed. It evolves with us. It grows with us, and it reflects the life we're living. And to be honest, for me, that's quite exciting, because there are more games out there than we'll ever have time to play. We can't experience all of them. So the idea idea that our taste keeps shifting, that we keep discovering new things about ourselves, that's kind of amazing. The funny thing is, games have been with us through every version of ourselves. The kid who had endless time, the teenager who chased adrenaline, the adult who just wants a moment of peace. And maybe that's the real beauty of gaming. It adapts with us and it grows with us. So if your taste has changed or softened or shifted in a way you didn't expect, that's okay. It means that you're living a life that's changing too. And honestly, I think that's something to appreciate. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed this one, check out this one right here, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.